At some point, life starts to feel different. The energy you once had seems harder to find. The excitement about the future fades, and days begin to blend into each other. You might assume that this is just part of aging, that happiness naturally declines over time. But what if that wasn't true? What if the reason you feel this way isn't because of your age, but because of hidden habits that are slowly draining your joy, motivation, and health? Most people don't realize it, but happiness isn't something that just happens. It's something we create. And the biggest mistake many people make after 60 is falling into patterns that steal that happiness bit by bit. At first, they seem harmless, even logical, but over time, they lead to loneliness, stagnation, and a life that feels like it's shrinking instead of expanding. The good news? You can break free from these patterns. You don't have to accept feeling stuck, tired, or unmotivated. There are specific things that could be secretly making you unhappy, and once you recognize them, you can change them. In this video, we're uncovering 8 hidden things that are draining your happiness after 60, and more importantly, how to fix them. If you're ready to take control of your life and bring back excitement, fulfillment, and joy, hit like and subscribe, because your best years aren't behind you, they're still ahead. There's a silent belief that many people carry as they get older, the idea that happiness naturally fades with age. It's not something they wake up one day and decide to believe. It creeps in slowly through societal messages, through watching others grow older, through the assumption that as time passes, excitement, joy, and purpose inevitably decline. But what if that belief is the very thing stealing your happiness? The way you think about aging directly affects how you experience it. If you believe that getting older means becoming less capable, less relevant, and less able to enjoy life, your brain will find ways to confirm that belief. You'll hesitate to try new things because you assume they're for younger people. You'll convince yourself that it's too late to start over, too late to reinvent yourself, too late to experience something exciting again. And over time, that belief turns into reality. Not because it's true, but because you've been living as if it is. But here's the truth. Happiness doesn't decline with age. Your willingness to seek it does. Study after study shows that people in their later years can actually be happier than younger generations. More confident in themselves, less stressed by external expectations, and more appreciative of the small joys in life. The difference between those who feel fulfilled and those who feel stuck isn't age, it's mindset. The real problem isn't aging itself. It's what you believe about it. If you expect your world to get smaller, it will. If you assume life has nothing exciting left to offer, you won't go looking for it. But if you decide that you're still capable, that your best days don't have to be behind you, that you can still grow, learn, and experience new things, you create an entirely different reality for yourself. Think about the messages you tell yourself daily. Do you catch yourself saying, "I'm too old for this," or "that part of life is behind me"? Do you assume that younger people have all the fun while you're supposed to slow down and accept routine? Or do you remind yourself that happiness isn't about age, it's about attitude? The happiest people aren't the ones who never aged. They're the ones who never stopped choosing life. They're the ones who didn't let fear, doubt, or outdated beliefs keep them from exploring, learning, and trying new things. They didn't fall into the trap of thinking that their time had passed. They treated every year as a chance to rediscover what brings them joy. So how do you shift your mindset? Start by replacing limiting beliefs with empowering ones. Instead of saying, "I'm too old for this," try, "I'm excited to experience this in a new way." Instead of thinking that's not for people my age, ask yourself, why not me? Stop focusing on the years behind you and start paying attention to what you can do with the years ahead. Happiness doesn't have an expiration date. You don't wake up one day and suddenly become incapable of joy, adventure, or purpose. The only thing that changes is whether or not you still believe you deserve it. And if this message speaks to you, take a moment to ask yourself, have I been holding on to a belief that's keeping me stuck? If the answer is yes, it's time to let it go. Like and subscribe if you're ready to start seeing aging not as an ending, but as a new beginning. You wake up, follow the same morning routine, eat the same breakfast, take the same route, and go through the same motions as the day before. Maybe there was a time when your days felt exciting, when you had things to look forward to, when even small moments felt meaningful. But now, it all feels predictable. There's nothing new, nothing unexpected, nothing that makes your heart race with excitement. At first, routine brings comfort. It gives life structure, a sense of stability. But when life becomes too structured, too predictable, too repetitive, something happens. You start to feel empty. Days blur together, motivation fades, and life loses its spark. It's not that you don't have things to do, but they don't excite you anymore. It's as if you're watching life happen instead of actively participating in it. This isn't just a feeling, it's science. The brain thrives on novelty. It craves new experiences, learning, challenges, and stimulation. When life becomes repetitive, your brain stops producing the same levels of dopamine, the feel-good chemical that makes you feel excited and motivated. The result? Everything starts to feel dull. You wake up not because you're eager to start the day, but because it's simply another day, just like the last. The problem with routine is that it's sneaky. You don't realize it's draining you until the joy is already gone. You stop trying new things because your habits are set. You assume excitement is something from the past, something reserved for younger people. And before you know it, you're living the same day on repeat, wondering why life feels so stagnant. But here's the truth. You are not too old for excitement. You are not meant to just exist in a cycle of predictability. The happiest people aren't the ones who never age. They're the ones who never stop exploring. They don't let routine control them. They create space for adventure, curiosity, and spontaneity. So how do you break out of autopilot? It starts with small, intentional changes. Say yes to something you'd normally say no to. Take a different route. Eat a new food. Engage in a conversation with someone unexpected. Your brain doesn't need drastic changes. It just needs reminders that life is still full of surprises. Introduce learning into your routine. Read about something you know nothing about. Try a new hobby. Challenge yourself in a way that feels unfamiliar. The moment you start expanding your experiences, you remind yourself that growth and excitement aren't just for the young, they're for the living. And most importantly, stop waiting for excitement to find you. If life feels predictable, it's because you've stopped seeking the unexpected. You don't have to change everything overnight, but you do have to decide that you're done living in autopilot. If you've ever felt stuck in routine, I want to hear from you. What's one small change you could make this week to shake things up? Drop a comment below, because breaking the cycle starts with one decision. You find yourself replaying the past, thinking about decisions you wish you had made differently, opportunities you let slip away, or words you didn't say when you had the chance. Regret is a heavy thing. It lingers in the back of your mind, whispering that things could have been better, that you should have done more, that you've lost time you can never get back. And the more you dwell on it, the more it consumes you, pulling you further away from the present moment. Regret isn't just a feeling, it's a weight. It keeps you stuck in the past, reliving moments that can never be changed. Maybe it's a career path you didn't take, a relationship that ended, a risk you were too afraid to try. Maybe it's something as simple as not appreciating certain moments when you had them. Whatever it is, it follows you, shaping how you see yourself and your future. The problem with regret is that it tricks you into believing that your best moments are already behind you. It convinces you that the choices you made in the past have locked you into a life that can't be changed. But that's a lie. The past is unchangeable, but the future is still yours to shape. The only thing keeping you from moving forward is the belief that you can't. Regret thrives on comparison. It makes you look at others and wonder if they did it better, if they made fewer mistakes, if they ended up happier than you did. But the reality is, everyone carries regret. No one moves through life perfectly. The difference between those who find happiness and those who stay stuck in the past isn't the absence of regret, it's the ability to let it go. The question is, how do you free yourself from it? It starts with acceptance. Whatever happened, happened. Whatever choices you made, they were the best you could make with the knowledge and experiences you had at the time. Regret wants to convince you that you should have known better. But the truth is, you didn't. And that's okay. Instead of dwelling on what you can't change, shift your focus to what you can. What can you do today that moves you toward something better? What lessons can you take from the past, not as a punishment, but as a guide for the future? Regret only has power if you let it control your choices moving forward. And here's something most people never realize. The best way to heal regret isn't to erase the past. It's to make your present so fulfilling that you no longer feel the need to look back. The more engaged you are with your life right now, the less time you'll spend dwelling on what could have been. There are still experiences to be had, relationships to build, moments of joy waiting for you. But you won't find them if you're always looking behind you. Forgive yourself. Let go of the illusion that you should have done things differently. Your life isn't over. It's still unfolding. The only question is, will you spend the rest of it stuck in what was, or will you finally allow yourself to embrace what still can be? If this resonates with you, take a moment to acknowledge that your past does not define you. Like and subscribe if you're ready to release regret and start truly living again. You tell yourself you're just busy, that people have their own lives, that friendships naturally fade over time. At first, it doesn't seem like a big deal. Life moves forward, routines take over, and the effort to stay in touch feels like something you'll get around to eventually. But one day, you look around and realize that the people who were once constants in your life have become distant. The conversations have slowed, and the laughter you used to share has been replaced with quiet solitude. Loneliness doesn't happen overnight. It builds gradually, slipping into your life so silently that you don't notice its full impact until it's already taken hold. It starts as missing a phone call, then missing an event, then slowly withdrawing, without realizing that each absence is creating a bigger gap between you and the people who matter. And here's the truth most people don't talk about. Neglecting friendships isn't just an emotional loss, it's a health risk. Research has shown that loneliness can be just as damaging as smoking 15 cigarettes a day. It increases stress, weakens the immune system, raises blood pressure, and even contributes to cognitive decline. The human brain is wired for connection, and when those connections fade, it sends distress signals to your body that impact everything from your mood to your physical well-being. Yet many people convince themselves that losing friendships is just a part of getting older. That's not true. Friendships don't disappear because of age. They disappear because they're not nurtured. Relationships, like anything else in life, require effort. They need attention, consistency, and a willingness to reach out, even when it feels easier to stay distant. So how do you rebuild? How do you reconnect when it feels like too much time has passed? It starts with a single step. Reach out, even if it's just a short message. Say yes to an invitation, even if your first instinct is to decline. People assume that if someone isn't reaching out, they don't care anymore, but most of the time they're just waiting for a sign that you still do. And if old friendships have faded beyond repair, that doesn't mean you can't build new ones. You are never too old to meet new people, to form deep connections, to share laughter and meaningful conversations again. It takes courage to open yourself up, to put in the effort. But the alternative, loneliness, isolation, and regret, is far worse. If you've ever let friendships slip away, take a moment to reflect. Who in your life would love to hear from you right now? Who would appreciate a message, a phone call, or an invitation to meet up? Friendships don't have to disappear. They can be rebuilt, revived, and even made stronger. And if this resonates with you, I'd love to hear your thoughts. What's one step you can take today to reconnect with someone? Drop a comment below, and let's start breaking the cycle of loneliness together. You tell yourself you're comfortable, that things are fine the way they are, that change is for other people, not for you. But deep down, there's a feeling you can't quite shake, a quiet frustration, a sense that life isn't as exciting as it used to be, a nagging thought that maybe you've been standing still for too long. The truth is, fear of change is one of the biggest things keeping people stuck in lives that feel smaller than they should. It convinces you that staying the same is safer than taking a risk. It whispers that you're too old to start over, that trying something new isn't worth the effort, that it's easier to stick with what you know, than to step into the unknown. And so, you stay in the same routines, do the same things, think the same thoughts, and wonder why every day feels just like the last. But here's the problem. When you resist change, you resist growth. Life isn't meant to be lived on repeat. It's meant to be experienced, to be explored, to be full of learning and surprises. And yet, so many people choose predictability over possibility. Not because they don't want something different, but because they're afraid of what change might bring. Maybe you've felt it before. The fear that if you try something new, you'll fail. The hesitation to take on a challenge because you're worried you won't be good at it. The thought that making a big change, whether it's moving, starting a hobby, or even shifting your mindset, might be too overwhelming, so it's easier to stay where you are. But the truth is, change is the only way life moves forward. The happiest, most fulfilled people aren't the ones who never feel fear. They're the ones who refuse to let it stop them. They understand that growth comes from stepping into discomfort, from embracing the unknown, from allowing themselves to be beginners again. They don't wait until they feel fully ready, because they know that day will never come. They just start. So how do you break free from the fear of change? You take one step. You stop waiting for the perfect time. You stop telling yourself that you're too old, too late, or too set in your ways. You remind yourself that every new experience adds something to your life, even if it's just proof that you were capable of more than you thought. It doesn't have to be a massive change. It can be something small. Reading a book on a topic you know nothing about, saying yes to an invitation you'd normally decline, challenging yourself to learn a new skill. The goal isn't to change everything overnight. It's to remind yourself that you are still growing, still evolving, still capable of more than you've allowed yourself to believe. Because the biggest risk isn't failing. The biggest risk is staying exactly where you are, wondering years from now, what could have happened if you had just been brave enough to try? And if you're ready to stop letting fear make your decisions, if you're ready to embrace new experiences instead of avoiding them, then like and subscribe, because life isn't waiting, and neither should you. You wake up feeling sluggish, your body aches, and no matter how much sleep you get, you're always tired. Maybe you assume it's just part of aging, something that happens naturally as the years go by. But what if I told you that so much of how you feel, your energy, your mood, even your happiness, comes down to the small choices you make every day? Many people believe that health is about avoiding sickness, but the truth is, it's about how you feel in your own body every single day. When you don't take care of your health, it doesn't just affect you physically, it affects how you think, how much motivation you have, how you experience the world around you. And the worst part? Most people don't even realize how much better they could feel until they start making changes. It starts with energy. When your body isn't getting what it needs, whether it's movement, the right nutrients, or proper rest, it slows down. Your metabolism becomes sluggish, your circulation weakens, and even simple activities begin to feel exhausting. And that exhaustion doesn't just affect your body, it impacts your mind. You feel less motivated, less excited about life, more likely to feel irritable or down for no reason. Then there's food. What you eat isn't just about weight, it's about brain function, mood stability, and how much energy you have throughout the day. If you're eating too many processed foods, too much sugar, or not enough real nutrients, you might not even realize how much it's affecting you. Brain fog, low energy, mood swings, even joint pain. These are often signals from your body telling you it needs better fuel. And then there's movement. Your body is designed to move. When you don't use it, it stiffens, weakens, and starts breaking down faster than it should. Regular movement, whether it's walking, stretching, or strength training, is one of the most powerful ways to keep your body strong and your mind sharp. Studies show that even a few minutes of daily exercise can drastically improve energy levels, reduce the risk of disease, and boost overall happiness. Sleep is another silent factor that most people underestimate. Good sleep isn't just about avoiding fatigue. It's about allowing your body to repair itself, to regulate hormones, to restore mental clarity. If you're constantly waking up tired, it's not just part of getting older. It's a sign that your body isn't getting the quality rest it needs. Improving sleep. by setting a routine, reducing screen time before bed, or creating a relaxing nighttime environment, can completely transform the way you feel throughout the day. The truth is, taking care of your health isn't about making extreme changes. It's about small, consistent habits that add up over time. Drinking more water, eating whole foods, moving your body regularly, prioritizing sleep. These aren't just things you should do. They are things that will make every part of your life better. And the best part? It's never too late to start. No matter where you are right now, no matter how long you've been feeling this way, you can start making small changes that will help you feel better, stronger, and more in control of your own life. If you've ever made a small health change that had a big impact on how you feel, I want to hear about it. Drop a comment below. What's one simple thing you've done that's helped you feel better every day? You wake up, go through the motions of your day, and before you know it, another one has passed. But something feels off. There's no excitement, no anticipation, no real reason to look forward to tomorrow. You tell yourself it's normal, that this is just what life is now, but deep down you feel it, a quiet emptiness, a sense that something is missing. Purpose is what gives life meaning. It's what makes you feel connected, engaged, and alive. Without it, even the simplest moments start to feel dull. You can have all the free time in the world, but without something that gives your days direction, it's easy to slip into a state of stagnation where every day feels the same and nothing truly excites you anymore. Most people assume that purpose is something you either have or you don't. But the truth is, purpose is something you create. It's not about having a grand mission or a lifelong dream. It's about having something, no matter how small, that makes you feel like you matter. Without purpose, motivation fades. Small problems start feeling bigger. You begin to feel like you're just passing time rather than truly living. And the longer you stay in that place, the harder it becomes to pull yourself out. But here's the reality. You don't need to have it all figured out to start living with purpose again. You just need to take a step, any step, towards something that makes you feel engaged with life. Maybe that's learning something new, giving back to your community, reconnecting with old passions, or challenging yourself in ways you never have before. Because here's the thing, your purpose isn't in the past. It's not something you've lost. It's something that's waiting for you to reach out and claim it. The question is, will you?